Is that better? Yeah, that's better. Ooh, how do I get it so that's better? Good day. Let me fix this so it's not, okay, don't tilt. It's a little sideways, but that's okay. It's cold. When the sun's not out, it's cold, you guys. Whew. Good day. We got my cilantro here. Here's the green onions. Oh, garlic. Garlic is growing here. Garlic, green onions. What else? Oh, snow peas. Get that out. Here's the daikon. Daikon growing in here. It's doing well. Daikon. Got daikon growing. Good day. Hello. Green onions growing well. It's kind of cold on the floor. I need something to sit on. Hi, Rebecca. Good to see you. I still need to check out my seed library, but it's on my thing to do, as well as soil testing, since Matt was suggesting we do that. Oh, I got my blanket here today. It's like, it's very cold without the sun. I'm gonna sit on this. What's going on in your garden, Rebecca? I got my tweezers here. It's cold. Let's see, we got like my, waiting for you to respond. Good morning, Jackie. I have to show you guys the daikon progress, of course. They're a little bit taller. It seems like I left them in a somewhat shaded area because they're a little bit lighter in color than I was expecting. But here are radishes, or a daikon in particular, the white long radish. Let's see, pretty good germination rate. Some of them haven't germinated, but maybe it's because I need to press down a little bit deeper. For the most part, like this one I can see needs to be pressed down a little bit more. Exciting, Rebecca. I mean, cool season crops though, right? Cool season crops. Like this one, this seed is a little exposed, so I'm just gonna push it down a little bit further. This one also is a little exposed, so I'm gonna push it down a little bit further. These seeds I did pre-soak, so they should germinate pretty well. Let's cover it with a little more dirt, a little more dirt. Ooh, yes, Jackie, those are good, yeah. I like the pickled ones, like when they're pickled, especially in Japanese cuisine. They use, I think, turmeric to color their daikons, and it makes that pretty yellow color. That I'm looking forward to, or just eating it in like a beef soup. So come on, radishes. These take, because they're bigger though, they take a lot longer to go to maturity, right? They're not like the little red bell ones, which are quick to harvest. These are take like 50-60 days because you want the long ones. Rebecca, yes, and about to start. That's right, Rebecca. Christmas in my area is when we typically start our tomatoes for spring, if you want to be the first ones to get them out. Yep, it's coming up really quickly, right? We're already in December and there's 20 days left. Nice, Rebecca. And I think, yeah, you're in my zone as well, so that makes sense. Jackie, do you know when you typically start your tomatoes? Is it now, actually? Is it now for you? Or I guess you could technically, are your tomatoes still growing? It's still kind of cold, right? You have no idea, Jackie. Knowing that you're in a warmer zone than Rebecca and I are, you probably would have been starting your tomatoes now if you wanted to be the first to get them in the ground. So the way it works in my zone is, I'm in zone 8A, by the way, and I'm saying this for the people who have joined, if there are any people here. And typically Christmas is when we start our tomatoes indoors, because it takes forever, right? Indoors, the conditions are not as ideal. So by March, they're usually like big enough for you to put directly in the ground when chance of frost has passed. Sometimes that's even April though. Let's see, Rebecca, you're saying I can get up to 20 clones off of. Nice, Rebecca, as in you propagated them. That's awesome. You are skilled, Rebecca. You're quite skilled. Propagation is a really, is one of those technical skills The last one that I haven't mastered, so if I had to list off like the technical skills of a gardener, they would be like propagating, transplanting, composting. Hi everybody, welcome. I am in North Texas attempting to winter garden in my freezing zone, and I just happened to be talking about some of the technical skills that I feel like a top gardener would know. So it was like propagating, transplanting, what was the other ones? The last one being, of course, grafting. That's the one that I have not mastered yet. Rebecca, have you mastered grafting yet? Jackie, I have a lot of you. Oh, perfect. Oh, that's right, Jackie. You mentioned that you have volunteers. Well, they're right on the perfect timeline. You just might need to protect them. You just might need to protect your baby volunteers. Welcome, you guys. I'm attempting to winter garden in my freezing zone, zone 8A. It is 40 degrees today, a bit overcast, so I'm just a little bit more warmly. Some of the things that I'm doing to increase my chances of growing is, of course, growing cool season crops. So those would be things like cilantro, garlic, if you haven't already started that. Garlic, ideally, you would have started in November because it takes 9 months to grow, and you'll harvest in early summer. From one clove, you'll get a whole bulb. Nice, Rebecca. You're quite talented, and you know all the ins and outs of these seed libraries and everything. I am quite amazed. I need to go check out. Jackie, do you have a seed library? Maybe you should go check that out too. I've been meaning to. I've actually known about it for like a couple months now. I have no excuse. And then here, snow peas is what I have started here, but in general, snow peas, sugar peas. I'm using an old school tray, and it's been reused many times. And then I use my leaves. I've been using the neighbor's leaves to protect my seedlings, or protect the soil here. But you'll see, I pre-soaked these snow peas or sugar peas, so you'll see they're starting to come up here. Oh, let me tilt it down. Hi, the skibbity. Happy birthday, Emmy. That's exciting. Well, welcome. So you'll see, I am here to grow my own food, and so if you guys are interested in learning to grow your own food, we're here doing that. Ooh, I actually got some mold growing on. This is, when people say leaf mold, they don't actually mean mold, right? Because look at this. I actually have mold on the, anyway. All right, I am gonna, let's see. Okay, so this one hasn't come up yet, but I also, oh yeah, it is. Okay, yeah, so I got all the little, I already have a set of winter snap peas, winter peas that are already in the ground and doing well. This is the second round that I started. See, if you guys can see, they like come up. Oh, what was that? That was like a piece of dirt that rolled off. But yeah, they're definitely coming up. I'm probably gonna move these into the ground soon, so I don't have to keep watering them in this container. I like containers only for the reasons of tracking my seedlings, but at the end of the day, they're much more work because you have to consistently water them. Whereas if I leave them in the ground, I don't worry as much about temperature fluctuation, nor do I have to worry about watering them as much. So I much prefer that. I'm able to grow my front lawn where it is sunny even in the wintertime. You're welcome, Skipty. Wow, that's Rebecca. Oh, wow, Rebecca, you grafted when I worked with a master gardener under her specific instructions, so no to grafting on my end. Did not know what I was. Well, awesome, Rebecca. That is my goals. That's the last one that I haven't mastered yet. I've tried it before, but I think you need like specific conditions. So fall, I understand, or kind of springtime is a good time to do that. Probably fall, spring, because that's also when they're growing more rapidly as well. Have a wonderful day, Em. Good to see you. Rebecca, you're dry rooting. Oh, dry rooting. Rebecca, what does that mean? Does that mean like taking dry roots and bringing them back to life? Is that what it is? Goomba, hello. Yesterday you made a change in my order and a customer support agent. Oh no. No, Goomba, I don't even know what you're talking about, and I don't even know how to withdraw from what account. We are here winter gardening in my freezing zone, so I can help you with like or sharing what I know about growing my own food. I don't know, maybe you're more experienced than I am, because oftentimes I find that I'm definitely not always the most experienced one in the room. There are definitely much more skilled people, and I am just taking their advice, their wisdom, and sharing it. Oh, I was good. I was to say Goomba. Well, welcome anyway. If you're into growing your own food, you're welcome to learn. I also enjoy doing garden to table. I just think it's exciting. It's a good opportunity to get outside, get your hands in the soil if you have soil to work with, or just containers would work. Get some vitamin D and yeah, general positive mood regulation. So that's what I feel like gardening is all about. It can also be a form of therapy as well, just a really cathartic way to have a hobby. Bye, Goomba! I did add hashtags to this one, so let's see how it did. Yesterday it seemed like we still had quite a bit of spamming as well. Happy Friday, everybody! What else do I gotta share? Okay, so these were the snow peas, or sugar snap peas. These are frost hardy, down to, I think only a little bit below freezing. They are kind of tender, so let me know if you guys have seen them last much longer, beyond below 25. But I feel like the snow peas, snap peas in general are a little bit more sensitive. So here are the green onions I have. They're still doing well. They're finally starting to grow the green, a little bit of the greens. Jackie, thank you so much for helping moderate. I appreciate it. Scrape the bark off a branch, wet root hormone, cover with dirt, wrap up months later, cut below the wrapped dirt. Okay, okay. Yes, but I'm not so worried about figs. It's citrus that I was trying to like take this, you know how they have a citrus tree and you can graft like lemons, limes, and then, I don't know, kumquat. I thought that was really cool. Hello, Powery. Yes, cold. Well, I am in the US and I'm in North Texas attempting to winter garden in my freezing zone. So we'll do something as simple as taking your green onion kitchen scraps and regrowing from them. So that's what this is here. These are the green onion scraps that have roots and are growing. And then of course, garlic is also something we're growing right now in the cool season in the US. If you guys didn't know, this is what garlic looks like. Power, did you know this is what garlic looks like when it's growing? So this is from one clove under the ground is growing. Jackie, you're saying, I've got some tomato seeds from Gary. Oh, you do? How cool, Jackie. I'm planning on planting them in January. I think that's a good time for mine, eh? We typically freeze around Jan, Feb. Okay. I see. Jackie, I think people usually start indoors in December, but are you trying to plant outdoors? I think generally they recommend you start your tomatoes. Yeah, I feel like Jan Feb is usually when it's coldest for everybody, us included. So I would say definitely start indoors, but I would say even start now, only because March comes up really quick, right? You could even start now indoors. How cool! Good day, Sea Daddy. Good day to see you. Oh, okay. You want to plant outdoors? Okay, I guess so. And then you just find a way to protect them. I think as long as they're small, they're easy to protect. But once they start to get really big, that's when it's a little overwhelming. Here's the garlic ones. See, Daddy, I was just sharing the these were all the what do I call them? The winter. They're all coming up. Can you guys even see? Oh, here we go. They're all coming up. These are winter peas, winter snap peas. Sugar snap peas are also a good cool season crop to be starting now. So that's what I got here. I feel like most of them have sprouted. I'm gonna get these in the ground so I don't have to maintain them in this pot or in this container any longer. Rebecca. No, Rebecca. On Sunday morning when it got down to 29, they all died. all of them. All the big basil bushes, all of them died. Even the big ones. It's okay though. I'm ready to plant something else. I'm gonna practice a crop rotation, like the farmers do. So instead of the basil, I'll put something like, I don't know, carrots there instead. Power, try planting lemongrass ginger. I love those power. Those are going to be more summer crops for me, or warm season crops for me. I do have some ginger, but I've only started it indoors. It's too cold for ginger right now in my zone, as well as for the majority of the U.S. Jackie, we accidentally grew ginger. Yes, yes, Jackie, how exciting! I've grown it before, not to the full size. I think next year I'm going to be, or this spring I'm going to be a little bit more intentional and actually try to grow ginger roots. It's going to be absolutely delicious. I'm so excited. Like, I see other people harvest their gingers and it's like big knobs of them. I want that too. Rebecca, let's see. Yeah, it's okay, Rebecca. There's a time and a place for everything, and it's time for, yeah, more winter hardy vegetables. Hello from Canada, Jesus, welcome. I'll see, who's Sea Daddy. This year I grew Swiss chard. You Swiss giant snow peas. Ooh, yummy. They are quite tasty. I like snow peas in general. And then in Asian cuisine, what you can do is, it's common to like take the tender leaves, snip them off, the tender growing tips, snip them off, and then stir fry it with garlic. Usually, you need a lot of it though, right? So it's like, I have to be growing a lot of snow peas in order for me to get all that. So we got cilantro here. This is another cool season crop that I'm growing right now. It is frost tolerant down to just below 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Or just at what, like -1 Celsius. Yeah, cilantro does really well. We talked about snow pea leaves. That's another good one. Frost tolerant to just below 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Radishes is another good one that I'm also starting. In particular, these here are daikon radishes. So these are baby daikon radishes. You can tell because they have a white stem, whereas if it were like the red radish that's circular, spherical, it would have like a red stem. I do have those started, but they're somewhere out there in the garden. Rebecca, you're saying my ginger loves very sandy, well-draining soil and does fine in a greenhouse. Okay, Rebecca, I'll try that. For now, I have some old ginger roots that have gotten soft. I don't know if we're gonna be able to continue growing it, but I did put it in some soil and I brought it indoors, so we'll see. It is very dehydrated though, it's like mushy. We'll see though. Jesus, I grow a lot in very cold. It gets down to 40 degrees Celsius. What do you grow, Jesus? And do you grow in a greenhouse? You grow in a greenhouse, right? How exciting, Jesus. Sea Daddy is also Canadian as well. So Jesus, what do you grow, and like what is your growing setup? Is it a greenhouse, a heated greenhouse? Jackie, you said, oh, got an update on the blue banana tree. Okay, it's down to one. Oh no, it looks quite sad. We haven't gotten frost yet, so I haven't decided when to chop it down. Oh, okay, how exciting. Maybe take the pup in. At least you can care for the pup and then bring it back out in the spring. That's what I would do at least. You know, just for extra insurance. Hi, Golem. First time seeing you, but you aren't. Oh, thank you. I'm flattered, Golem. Big man. Okay, is the question related to growing your own food? Or, you know, gardening, getting outside? Power, you're saying, if I can show you my small garden, usually I just plant at vase and it grows successful. I am Asian. Oh, you're also Asian too. Ginger and lemongrass. Oh, my father had land and he... Wow, how lovely, Power. That's awesome, Power. Yes, so I am in the U.S. in North Texas attempting to winter garden in my freezing zone. It does get down to 10 degrees Fahrenheit in February here in North Texas. And that is like -4 degrees Celsius. Power, let's see. Let's see, you mentioned that. Yikes, Sea Daddy. It's -15 degrees Celsius, not 5 Fahrenheit. Yikes, cold. Oh, okay, so maybe it would have been -10 degrees if it was 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Hi, Lisa. I have to put my plants in the garage. Remember, I told you I have, oh, how lovely, Lisa. I have avocado I try to grow from seed, but I'm very lazy about moving pots in and out. So every year the sprouted avocado seeds just die. One year, I figure like 1 year I'll be able to discover a avocado hardy variety, right? Like if I eat enough avocados, maybe one of them will be hardy enough to survive a microclimate. Oh no, oh Jesus, oh okay. I grow in a greenhouse, but plant my garlic outside like herbs. Yes, Jesus, yep. Garlic is one of those hardy plants that will always grow regardless of how cold it gets. So yes, this is always that one plant that I recommend to beginner gardeners. It's relatively easy to grow, right? All you have to do is you plant it in the ground, kind of forget about it. You do want to plant it in a sunny spot. But yeah, I tell everybody, like, people all the way up north in Canada grow garlic, so you can too. They just grow a specific variety called hardneck garlic that is better suited to colder climates. Whereas I, in Texas, in the southern part of the US, could grow softneck garlic, which is typically what you find in the grocery stores too, just because it has a longer shelf life than hardneck. Jesus, there's some things I plant outside that will come back in the spring. Okay, yeah, so you're talking about, yeah, dormant. Like what, Jackie, what do you, or, sorry, Jesus, what do you grow? You have, like asparagus I have growing. Are you thinking, like, what kind of vegetables are you growing that will go dormant, come back? Or are they fruit trees you're referring to? You remember, yeah, right, Jesus, avocado is definitely a warm season crop. I mean, here, like maybe in the south part of Texas they could, but really Mexico, California is like the only place you could really have avocado grow successfully, just because they have a temperate enough climate. Rebecca, you're growing leeks. How exciting, Rebecca. I've grown leeks before, but I didn't realize I was growing them until one day I pulled it up and I was like, oh, this is not a garlic. Lisa, can you tell us your schedule when you are online to get? Lisa, well, thank you. I'm so flattered. I am live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon Central. So every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm live noon Central. So today is Friday. It's noon. I usually go, sorry, not noon, 11 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. to 12 Central. So Monday, Wednesdays, Friday. I also have it on my profile as well. I listed it on my profile. Monday, Wednesdays, Friday. I'm so flattered, Lisa. Thank you. Info that will, okay. Yeah, Rebecca, sorry. I meant 11 a.m. Sorry. 11 a.m. noon Eastern, but 11 a.m. Central. So that works for you, Rebecca. Power. Someday I wish we could go to country that has snow and cold weather. Oh, really, Power? I mean, I also love the snow. Ironically, even though I am a gardener, most gardeners, I think, cry when winter come around, but I still get excited because I have my other passion, which is snowboarding. And so, yeah, I get excited about all the seasons because there's always something to offer. But yeah, thankfully, I don't live in snow, though. If I lived in snow and had to shovel every day, that would be a different story. But I live somewhere warm. And so getting to experience snow is exciting for me. Jackie, you said, I have carrots growing for the first. Yes, Jackie, very nice. Jackies are pretty tough. I mean, carrots are pretty tough to grow, so good for you. 4 years in, and I've grown some carrots, but hopefully this is the year that I really mastered them. So nice job, Jackie. They say winter carrots are sweeter, so yeah, be growing. I look forward to growing lots of carrots, especially from that one carrot that I let go to seed. I have like a bunch of seeds, so we'll get really good at that. What was it? I was gonna show you guys my baby onions as well. Gosh, you guys, I gotta work on my onion seed starting skills because apparently they're not that great. I only got a few in here, but it's okay. I'm also gonna grow sets as well. In January, I'll just buy them from the store, and I'll work on my onion seed starting. I started a bunch of seeds, but I still have. Hello, Eddie. Good to see you. Jesus, you said you planted carrots and radishes and a few other things, and it came up in spring. Oh, nice, Jesus. I think, yeah, because you're in Canada, right? And I have heard people doing that where they put the seeds, and I guess the seeds kind of go through a stratification process, or rather they just don't sprout until spring, and that is awesome. Jesus, I have fruit trees, but those are all, oh, I see. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Rebecca, oops, yes, that's right. Jesus, you have fig, tree, apple, pear. Oh, how lovely, Jesus. In my zone, I can leave them outside. They just obviously drop all of their leaves, and they'll come back in the spring. Hello, David. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you. Uh, right, Jackie? Oh, that's right, Jackie. You were in Alaska. Yeah, I hear that all the time. People dislike shoveling snow. So thankfully I don't have to do that. That's why I actually still enjoy snow, because I can escape to it for a week in Colorado and then come back to no snow. Jesus, you're saying tomatoes are the only thing I do not have much luck with. Jesus, okay. Seed Daddy, you're quite, Seed Daddy's also in Canada. He's currently doing hydroponics, but he also grows tomatoes, right, Seed Daddy? And then I have my other friend Les, who's also Canadian. He loves growing tomatoes, but you should see his setup. He brings in all his tomatoes indoors and he grows them until they're like 10 foot tall, because he has a big south-facing window. So he'll just let his tomatoes in containers continue growing through winter. But yeah, clearly he has to bring them in though, because it's the only warm place for the tomatoes to continue growing when you're in Canada. That's right, Jesus. Yeah, Les, my other friend who sometimes comes on, he's always sending me pictures. It's like, it's a beautiful snowscape, and I'm like, that looks so amazing. All I see is powder snow that I can snowboard on. Yeah, the soil looks huge. Straw. Yeah, great observation. So I do what we call soil blocking. Where's my tool? And it is purely for the purposes of seed starting. When you're working with limited space, right, it's always about how can I minimize the space that I start with and then continue up potting as needed, because let's be real, unless you're really good at seed germination, usually you want to make sure the seeds sprout before they start taking up space, right? So I use this tool called soil blocking. This is what it looks like. So if you see, they make little brownies, and each brownie I had planted a seed. So you'll see my germination rate is not that great. I'll need to work on how to better sprout onion seeds. But I suspect that some of the onion seeds may be a little bit older, so that may also be a reason why they didn't germinate as well. But yes, I got a few more. Here's another one. So what I'm going to be doing is up potting these into a larger container, because I noticed that my onion starts have been kind of the same size since when I first started, or they've not been growing much. So that's a good indicator for me that they probably need more soil and nutrients to grow. And so yeah, great observation, Straw. This is just a means to start my seeds though. That's what I like to do. Jackie, you say, I've tried tomatoes at a few different times. They fruited ones. How exciting, Jackie. Jesus, what do you do? What do you use for your soil for your seeds? That what kind? Oh, I see. Jesus, so I am able to garden in my front lawn, or rather I garden in my front lawn because it's sunny all year round. This is south facing. And so I grow my front lawn. I use my native soil and I mix it with the compost that I make from kitchen scraps and dried leaves. So I make my own kitchen scraps, and that's what I mix it with. I will say that when I learned, so soil blocking, if you use store-bought soil, it's going to be a lot easier because it's naturally going to be fluffier. But when you're working with things like native soil and mixed compost, it just makes it a little bit more difficult. So I was definitely still learning kind of what would work best. I do think I should probably use more, like I've been using 50% compost, 50% native soil, but I think it needs to be a higher percentage of compost. I find that it's just like a little bit too compact. So some things that I need to change, but I am a first year soil blocking gardener, so we'll improve on that. I have had success with other seeds though. Oh, do I have any on me? Like my daikon here. Daikon I started a little bit later, so I got better at soil blocking. And you'll see I have much better germination rates. But that could also be because the seeds were fresher. See, much better germination rates. Okay. Rebecca, you're saying I'm trying everything from Asia. Yes, I'm so excited. Rebecca, I'm excited. I'm gonna figure out my local seed library situation so that I can try to get some from you. Albert. Hi Albert, welcome back. You love tomatoes. Oh, awesome. It's not something that I'm growing right now. That is considered a warm season crop, but maybe in spring, or I'll be starting them soon actually. I am in North Texas, and the time that you would be starting your tomatoes indoors would be Christmas time. Well, welcome, Faith. Hello, Krital. Good to see you. Hi. Hello. Good to see you. What's going on? And Crit, I forgot. Are you in the US? I forget. Oh, see, Daddy, I didn't realize you were Les. Oh my gosh. I'm like so embarrassed. See, Daddy, I thought you were. Oh, okay. Hi, Les. That's funny. Okay, so yeah, I was talking. See, Daddy, aka also Les, is my good friend who brings his tomatoes indoors and has them like 10 feet tall, growing in a south-facing window. But yeah, see, Daddy, that's funny, Liz. I thought you were like a different person. Anyway, Fat. Hello, Nick. Welcome. Oh well, how exciting, Fat. I am here in the US and North Texas attempting to winter garden my freezing zone, mostly food gardening, but I do also grow flowers as well. Really, but my style is more of like a cottage food garden, so it's wild. I got that like certified wildlife plaque. So that's the kind of garden you can expect. Anyway, if you're here to learn to grow your own food, would love to share my experiences. But in most cases, honestly, I'm learning from you guys so much. Les, you always have a bunch of knowledge to share. Same thing with you, Rebecca, because you guys are clearly more experienced than I am. Clorox, well, thank you. Welcome. Rebecca, could you do a soil blocking video? Oh, I have lots of them, though. I do think they're best for like smaller seeds. I use a micro soil blocker, but there's also like a next size up where you have, I think, 4 soil blocks. I know farmers use it. Okay, I will look into that. Is there anything in particular? I mean, I could even do it on the live next time. It just gets a little messy. I'll pick a warm day to do it because you have to get the soil damp. And on a cold day, I don't want wet things touching my hand. But yeah, I like to do soil blocking for my tiny seeds. Jesus, you say you have to watch commercial soil. What do I need to watch about? Misty, welcome. Well, welcome. What in particular is helpful? Do you sail what you grow? Eddie, I don't sail. I enjoy snowboarding though. Let's see. Are they for inside or outside use? It matters a lot. YouTuber, great. You could do both indoors and outdoors. Actually, these would probably work better indoors. I actually make it a lot tougher on my seedlings. I put them outside. I just don't have a lot of room in my house. But like, look at these. These could also work really well indoors as well, right? I save all my own strawberry clamshells. And you can use them to, like, put them under grow lights because they naturally have a transparent lid, right? And then they have natural drainage holes. And yeah. So yeah, you could definitely use this both indoors or outdoors. I do think they will actually work better indoors. I just don't like soil in my house, so I only put these outside. That's me. Albert, you're saying you can water it with local mud water for... Oh, I like that. I do. So Albert, I do try to prefer... I do prioritize using rainfall when I can, which is actually why I prefer to keep these outside, because then they'll get natural rainfall. Whereas if I bring it indoors, the only way they're getting natural rainfall if I like have a tub out there collecting rainwater and am watering them, right? So yeah, YouTube, what do you think? I feel like this could work for both indoors and outdoors. I actually think it'll work better for indoors, but I like to do everything the hard way because I don't like a mess. Let's see. USA. I am, Rebecca, sorry, Jackie, thank you for helping answer. Yes, I am in Zone 8A, North Texas. Jesus, you're saying, Faith, you're saying, I thought you'd want to call me Faith instead of calling me... Oh, I understand. Yeah, I respect. Okay, I understand. Faith. Yep. I will call you Faith now. I'll remember that. I'll try to remember that. Hello, John. Welcome. John Matthew, welcome. What time? What's the time there? Here it's 11 p.m. It is 11:37 a.m. in Central Time Zone. Do I grow cardamom? I don't, John. I've never grown cardamom before. I don't even know what it looks like. I do have the spice in my cabinet though. That's the extent of it. Let's see, the things I am growing, I am attempting to winter garden in my freezing zone. So some of the things I'm growing right now are, of course, cilantro. That's a cool season crop. It's hardy to just below freezing. Same thing. Radishes, specifically daikon, are also hardy to just below freezing. These are what baby radishes look like. Super cute. Rebecca, you say no to different experiences. See, Les, see daddy, that's right. Hello, Les. Rahul, nice to see you. Welcome. Jackie, you're saying, are we revealing our earlier names now? No, Jacqueline, I know you. I recognize you. I just didn't realize Les was Seed Daddy. I thought it was like two separate people, Les. You tricked me just because your name was like so different. Faith, you're saying, play the last commercial soil I use had a ton of, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I do think, yeah, so there, but you know what? Everybody uses commercial soil and commercial compost though. I see everybody using it because I can see there's like little bits of perlite in it and it's like really black soil. Everybody uses it though. I don't, which is probably also why my germination rates are not as impressive. But yeah, we're working on that. A more natural way to garden. That's typically I like to do more natural ways of gardening and then also a scrappier way. So you'll see my style is reusing things that we already have. You already paid for these containers, right? When you bought the berries, you already paid for it. So I like to try and put it to use before then recycling it. Same thing here, like cherry tomatoes, I'll reuse those because any of these produce naturally have drainage holes in them or and some sort of a lid. So I like to use them before I then recycle. Faith, you're saying you're missing my text. My name is Faith. Yep, I got it. I got it, Faith. I am Becky. No, Becky. Nice. Do you know about, yes, John, yes, I do think mulching is really important. So for these are seed starters, so I don't worry about these as much, and they naturally have lids, so I don't necessarily mulch over the top of my soil blocks, right? These are just kind of exposed soil, but when I put them in the ground or up pot them, I will add mulch. Mulch for me also means wood chips, but it also could mean straw. It could also mean fallen leaves. I mean, pretty much any sort of material that will still let some light through, but keep your soil moist and warm. So yeah. Yes, Jackie. Beginner gardener, smart. Okay. I am zone 8A in North Texas. You could also be zone 8B. It's just my specific zip code is zoned for zone 8A. So it does get freezing in my zone all the way down to 20 degrees. Hi, Eternal Student. I'm not a farmer. I'm just a gardener. As you can tell, everything's really small scale. If I was a farmer, I think I'd have I would not be using these strawberry clamshells. I'd have so much more. I'm just a gardener. I don't even have chickens. I have no livestock. Maybe next spring, but not for now. Greetings from Indonesia. Well, thank you, Satria. Salam. Thank you, Rishi. Zone 3A. Faith, you're in zone 3A? Wow. Wow. Jackie, you're in zone 8A. Oh, you're describing that I'm in zone 8. What's the time zone in 3? Yeah, what is the time zone in 3A? Zimmerman, good to see you. No, not vegan. Definitely eat meat. Maybe we'll have chickens next year, so we can also have eggs as well. But yeah, definitely trying to grow lots of vegetables. So we got cilantro here in my winter garden zone. Onions, these are baby onions in case anyone's curious. The bulbing onion variety. Jackie's not vegan either. Faith, you're saying, I think it's a good idea to use, right? I think so too. It's so clever. And then when you're done with it, or when they get so broken, because this is what happens to every bit of plastic, right? You can recycle them. Faith, you're saying, I have to watch or trees and bushes of all kinds. Ah, mulch. Yes, yeah, you gotta mulch everything. Vegans only street. No, Aish. No, oh no, not vegan. Enjoy growing vegetables, but definitely not vegan. Excited to have you guys join. I do have my mother-in-law who is, she is vegetarian. So sometimes I'll do like more vegetarian type dishes, but I definitely do also eat meat as well. Faith, you're getting chickens and a goat. How exciting, Faith. Yeah, I hear goats are great lawnmowers. I have no way. I would not be able to raise a goat. I'm like limited to 4 or 5 chickens in my city. So that's about as adventurous I'm gonna get. Rebecca, you're saying you mulch with leaves, pine straw, grass clippings, and wood chips. FYI, from the farm or on the side. I get all of this stuff for free from my farm or on the side of the road. Be careful. Okay. Yeah, Rebecca, those are great resources. Yeah, I get it from my neighbor as well. I need to go knock on my neighbor's door to formally ask him though. John, Matthew, are you near Fort Worth, Texas? Yeah, I'm somewhat close. I'm in Dallas though. I'm closer to Dallas. Faith. Okay, Faith, it's 10:45 a.m. Okay, so you're in Mountain Time Zone then. You're in Mountain Time Zone, or what is considered Mountain Time Zone in the U.S. Ayush, are you near, let's see, Ayush, I've grown cabbages, broccoli, coriander. Coriander, you mean cilantro too, right? Oh, awesome. Faith, you're not vegan either. Okay, nice. Les or C Daddy, have you grown lemon basil before? I see that there's also lime basil. Ooh, how exciting, Les. C Daddy, the lemon basil. You showed me your beautiful lemon basil. It's lovely, Les. I didn't realize there were so many basils. That's really exciting. You are like, Les, you are like the seed king. You've like tried every variety. That's awesome. I'm just here trying to like grow as much different types of things. I haven't focused on specific varieties yet. I think I'm just trying to grow more diversity of vegetables. And then I think I'll probably get to some point where I'll get picky about seeds, but I'm not there yet. Right now I'm just trying to see what different varieties of vegetables I can grow. Hello, people will literally give you leaves on the East Coast. I love it. Yes, I'll be like, let me go help you clean up your leaves. Let me help you. Let me help you, neighbor. 6 half dozen. Let's see. Faith, you're saying I have 4 acres, so I'm going to be able to do a lot. How exciting, Faith. That's exciting. Rebecca, there are 250. Yes, there's like so many. There's a lot of different varieties of a lot of different types of things. Ayush, why does eating your produce? I don't know. It is really exciting though, right? It's super exciting to be able to eat the things. And you know, some people say it tastes better than store-bought. I haven't gotten to that point yet. I don't think I'm a fancy enough eater. But yeah, hopefully I get to that point where it does actually taste better than store-bought. I cannot say that my taste buds are discerning enough yet. I do think it's healthier for us though. So I do believe in that, and I do believe that I'm able to grow more cleanly than potentially some of the non-organic vegetables, so that's why I do it. Not John, do I grow fruits too? I do try to grow fruits. I have fig trees that have been producing for the last 2 years. I have a few other trees that I started from store-bought seeds, but they are still young, so I haven't actually eaten any of its fruits. I have a peach tree, an apple tree. All of these are young though, so I've never actually eaten the fruit yet. A nectarine. And I don't know if I will, but I definitely saw the peach tree had peaches this season. It's just that there were so few that the bugs got to them before I did. Aish, Jack Black, have you ever tried datura seeds? I have. Datura seeds are also known as, is it Simpson's? It's the white moonflower, right? I did have those growing in my garden. I mean, I don't eat them, but I grow them as flowers, and they're really great for nighttime pollinators because the flowers only open at dusk, right? And then all the pollinators will come. By morning, the datura flowers are wilted away. Les, you're saying there's roughly about 200 basil varieties. You only have 10. Look at you, see, Daddy. you are like, you're like, I'm not rich enough in basil seeds yet. That's what I read. Faith, nice. Chat block. Okay. Jackie, my goodness. Jackie, thank you so much for keeping on top of the moderation. And Les, thank you so much as well for helping moderate. Mark, how to start gardening from scratch. Mark, well, welcome. I would say some soil would be good, some compost. And then what type of gardening would you be able to do? Are you thinking of container gardening? So container gardening. I do have the ability to grow up my front lawn, but I often start my seeds in containers like this. So this is cilantro. And actually with cilantro, I'll keep it in a container. I'm not gonna put this in the ground. I find it easier for me to track my herbs this way. When I have to run around the garden trying to find out where it is, it's less fun. So I usually try to keep things that I use pretty frequently in containers. And then I like to, I call myself a scrappy gardener. I like to reuse things that we already have and be resourceful. So if you go to the grocery store, which I feel like most of us do, even I do, I attempt to grow my own food, but really it's only 5% of what my 4-person family eats all year round. So I save my berry containers and I will double these as seed starting. I use soil blocking, but you could also definitely just fill this with soil and compost and then grow things in it as well. This I would recommend purely for seed starting, right? And then you can always up pot them into a bigger container. So this is, for instance, you could even grow from store-bought as well. So like the green onions that come with roots at store-bought, you can also definitely grow from those as well. So there's different ways to grow. You could grow from store-bought, which is actually one of my favorite ways to grow because it feels, you don't have to go to the garden store for the produce, right? You can just take the green onions from your store-bought if they have roots on them and root them if they don't already have it. If they already have roots, just put them in soil or in some water and then eventually put them in soil for like a long-term growth. You could keep them in water, but at some point the water's not going to be able to give the nutrients that your plants will need. Do you use heirloom seeds? Faith, I don't necessarily use heirloom seeds. Sometimes I do, but I am not picky like that yet. Here's where, when I was talking about using store-bought, I will even use like store-bought pumpkin seeds to grow my pumpkins from. Or, I mean, store-bought, what else we got? I have some store-bought eggplant that I want to go actually harvest the seeds from. They would be like a Black Beauty variety. Jet Black, yes, yeah. I'm not saying what you're saying, oh nice too, maybe it was the store-bought part. Faith, you're saying I use organic farming tech. I love that. How exciting, Faith. That's inspirational. I do try to clean garden. I'm not going to say organic. I do try to clean garden though. 6 half a dozen. I love trees, but the ones I want to grow in zone 7B can't grow them outside year round. Oh, darn it. Like what? Citrus, you're thinking? Yeah, citrus is a little bit more. You know what? Actually, I am, so my zone is a little bit warmer than yours. I'm in zone 8A, but I do have some kumquat, which is like a small citrus tree that I put in the ground. I just found that it was less maintenance than keeping it in a container because the container was more susceptible to cold. So I would often have to move the container to and from. This year I decided to put my kumquat in the ground where I just plan to protect it. I'm going to keep the tree pruned small. Sorry, I just spit. I'm going to keep the tree pruned small and then I'm just going to protect it with like old quilts. I don't have any right now. But like cardboard, old quilts. Right? Just like providing physical barriers for my tree. I hear that people will even use black tarp with holes over it. In zone 6B actually, people will grow vegetables in zone 6B using an opaque tarp to cover their plants. So it's possible. People in zone 6B grow their vegetables that way. And you could do the same, 6 half a dozen with your trees, your fruit trees. You probably do need to keep them pruned small though, right? It's the only way you're going to be able to effectively protect them. But something to think about. Les, yes, variety is the spice of life. Yes, like having diversity, that's how we all feel rich. I agree. And for me, the diversity right now is a diversity of different types of plants. And for Seed Daddy, it is different types of basil, different types of tomatoes, different types of peppers. I used to say, I'm from a rural area. I use cows. That's awesome, Ayush. No, I believe in the circle of life. Like poop is a source of nutrients. Yep, totally believe it. Doesn't gross me out. I believe in the circle of life. So things that are, you know, already processed by another animal, great. I just do hear that if you want to use it for compost, you need to age it a little bit to make sure any diseases are have left or are no longer able to survive and pass down into your compost and then into your plants. So that's one thing to be aware of. Faith, you're saying you should try kiwi trees. They're, oh, okay, like the hardy kiwis, right? Kiwi berries. That is on my to-do. That is on one of my things to get, actually. I haven't gotten around to it yet. I see it at my local Kroger, which is a local grocery chain that we have, but it looks like they took up the fruit trees for the season. So I will keep checking for them though. I do need to make a trip to our local Home Depot or Lowe's to check that out and see what's there. Nice, Jack Black. Jack Black, what zone are you in again? Remind me. My rosemary died. I think it's because I didn't water it enough over summer. How exciting! How exciting, 6 half a dozen. Do you have a channel? I would love to check it out. But yeah, I do think that gardening can get really expensive, and I'm always trying to find the most resourceful, not only the most resourceful, but the smartest way to grow. And often the smartest way means observing nature and replicating what nature does. So yes, definitely scrappy, and obviously working with smaller spaces as well. How exciting, 6 half a dozen. Rebecca, you're saying Etrian basil is my favorite, but Boliso Napolita basil grows rigorously. Ah, the Italian variety, right? Etrian basil. What is Etrian? Is that Greek? Greek basil? Is that what it is, Rebecca? Les, you're saying it's even more important than ever to grow. Yes, I think so too. And if you have the space to do it, why not? It also happens to give food for the birds and the bees and wildlife as well. It gives a little bit of space back to them. We've taken so much building our own homes. We take away from their habitats, so maybe it's time to kind of share what green spaces we can. Max, hello, welcome. We're doing well. We are attempting to I am attempting winter garden my freezing zone. So I have like things like onions. These are cool season crops that you could be growing. I got green onions as well. So this is the bulbing onion variety. And this, as you can see, my germination rate is not very high, but that's something we're going to work on. I'm a 4th year gardener, and there's always room to learn and grow. And then, of course, I also have green onions from store-bought, so I like to grow in all different ways. I call myself a scrappy gardener, just trying to be resourceful, but also trying to be smart as well, observing what nature does and replicating much as that as possible. Gardening can add up really quickly, right? So I'm just trying to find ways to make it affordable and more accessible to the everyday person. Faith, you're saying, I do container gardening too. I throw potatoes. Oh, nice, Faith. In big containers. Excellent. Les, you're saying, Becky, I want to get seeds for no. Oh, nice. Les, Rebecca's saying, Les, wow, you had 21 different types of basils, Rebecca. Wow. That is so much. That is a ridiculous amount of basil. Gosh, okay. All my basil didn't make it past spring. Oh no. Well, Jackie, plant more. They'll be okay. They mostly taste different. Okay, let me know. Okay. Let's see. 6 half a dozen. I do have blueberry, raspberries, pawpaw, and oh, lovely. I have a baby blueberry tree. I also have blackberry as well. That's exciting. I have yellow raspberries. I don't have pawpaw though. Nice, Jonathan. They put some kind of mesh over it. Over what? Rebecca, take cuttings for your windowsill next year. They'll be rooting in a month. Nice. 6 half a dozen. I have 2 lemon trees outside though covered. Nice. Yeah, lemon trees. Excellent. I started one from seed, and then I also have a grapefruit tree that I started from seed as well, like 2 years ago. It's exciting. Hi. Hello again, leading. I'm rolling to need a mushroom is quiet there. Oh. Excellent. Sorry, I got really... Hello from Maryland, Wayne. Good to see you again. It's really sunny. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm going to be wrapping in a couple minutes here, but thank you for hanging out as always. Super fun and always learning from you guys. I'm attempting winter garden my freezing zone right in zone 8A, North Texas, and I have like baby bulbing onions from seed. I was going to up-pot these, but the discussion has been so good that I've been distracted. So I will up-pot that. But yeah. 6 half a dozen. You also compost and do swarm casting. I love it. Are you 6 dozen? Well, I look forward to learning from you, Master Gardener. That's exciting. I'm familiar with Master Gardeners. I've not explored it myself yet, but how awesome. Faith, you're saying, I always order ladybugs and throw those into my garden as well. I love it. I love it, Faith. I don't necessarily bring bugs into my garden, but I do try to attract them, or rather, they naturally come. For me, I think the way to build an ecosystem sustainably is right through time, right? So what do they always say? They say like first year gardeners get really discouraged because you're growing a lot of new green things, and who comes? The garden pests come to eat them, right? But then second year is when all the bugs that eat those pests come, as well as the birds. And then third year is when your ecosystem is finally balanced out and thriving. So if you're gonna try gardening, at least try it to the third year, right? Because that's when your ecosystem is gonna be developed, especially if you're growing outdoors. My cherry tree turned into a giant. Wayne, how amazing! I am so jealous. Does that mean your cherry tree is very prolific? But it's mainly for Canada. Oh, okay, 6 half a dozen. How cool. Okay, yeah, I'm not growing cannabis. I can appreciate people who grow it. Okay, well, let me know if you end up posting anything else. 6 half a dozen. Rebecca, I give away seeds. Yes, Rebecca. Rebecca, how awesome. Yeah, I need to figure out my seed library situation so that Rebecca can send me seeds from her seed library. That's such a cool concept. Were you guys aware of this free seed library thing? Or like even like the library exchange? That is super cool. The bird, oh, Wayne. So the birds get to the cherry trees before you do. Oh, that's kind of tricky. What? Jonathan, ladybugs swarm my house in the fall. Nice, Jonathan. Wayne, I grow green onions in the kitchen. That's perfect from store-bought, right? It's great. I personally don't like soil in my house, so I actually just leave these all outside. When it gets a little bit too cold though, like below 25, I'll bring these indoors. But for now, I'm just gonna throw these out here. Wow, Les, you sent someone 100. Wow, that is amazing. African basil, I believe. How cool. Oh no, Elliot. I just barely have 10 fruiting plants in my garden. Queen Farmer. Jonathan, those could be Asian lady beetles. They swarm. Oh no. Oh gosh, Queen Farmer. Mesh over citrus trees. Okay. I don't typically mesh my citrus trees. But yeah, like what, the swallowtail worms will come and eat them. Hello, Chow. Okay, I'm gonna have to go ahead and wrap now, but great conversation, and clearly there are a lot of people really passionate about growing foods or just growing trees in general, so excited. I'm live Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays at 11 a.m. Central, so I hope to catch you guys next week. You guys have a lovely weekend and take care. We'll be in touch as I continue to winter garden in my freezing zone. Oh no. Okay, gotta go. Everybody take care. Bye. Be well until next